Hello everybody, this is Dave Greenhawk from Remnant Church of San Luis Obispo, and today we're going to talk about giants. Yes, giants in the Bible. For many years, many people, scholars and so forth, not looking at the total meaning of the words in the original text, said that men's and giants were the same thing in the Bible, just giant men. No, the Bible, if you look clearly at the original text, original language, it says there were giants that were born from fallen angels having sex with beautiful women they desired on earth. Let's take a look at the scriptures. There's 100 scriptures at least in the Old Testament that talks about this. In Genesis 6:4 it says that the Nephilim were born on earth, and in those days and also afterwards, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they were bore children to them, these were the mighty men who were of old, the men of renown. Men of renown many times was explained out as being well-known people, powerful people, but no, they were giants. Some of these giants were between probably 9 and about 18 foot tall. They have discovered bones throughout history showing this, and they still are discovering bones in the Middle East, especially in Israel. And there were giants that were born from fallen angels, and they called them Nephilim. In Numbers 13:33 it says, "And there we saw Nephilim, the sons of Anak, who come from the Nephilim, and we seemed to ourselves like grasshoppers, and so we seemed to them." This is when the spies went into the land, the promised land, and came back, and all of them said, "We were so small, we felt like grasshoppers." There were giants everywhere. Giants that made them so scared they didn't want to enter the promised land. But yes, the Bible says there were giants. In Deuteronomy 1:28 it says, where are we going up? Our brothers have made our hearts melt, saying, the people are greater and taller than we. The cities are great and fortified up to heaven. And besides, we have seen the sons of Anakim there. They saw giants. Large creatures that didn't look like anything they'd ever seen before, but they were giants. And these are just like it so in the days of Noah, where it said it would be in the latter days, as we're coming into right now, the last part of this age here on earth. But they were giants just like in the days of Noah. They came back. They concentrated mainly in the Middle East, mainly in the promised land that God had promised to the Jewish nation. In Deuteronomy 3:11 it says, Og, for only Og, the king of Bashan, was left of the remnant of the Rephaim, another name for Nephilim. Behold, his bed was a bed of iron. It was not in Rabbah, but of the Ammonites. It was 9 cubits in length and 4 cubits in breadth, according to the common cubit, approximately 15 feet to 18 feet long, and also it was around 4 to 6 feet wide. That's a big bed. He was probably around 15 to 18 feet tall, and he was the last, and his lineage was the last of the giants known on earth at that time period, during the time that Jews were entering into the promised land. 1 Samuel 17:1-58 says, Now the Philistines gathered their armies for battle, and they were gathered at the Soka, which also belongs to Judah, and encamped between Soka and Azekah in the Ephes Daman. And Saul and the men of Israel were gathered and encamped in the valley of Elah, and they drew up a line of battle against the Philistines. And the Philistines stood on the mountain on the side, and Israel stood on the mountain on the other side, and the valley between them. And there came out of camp of the Philistines a champion named Goliath, a Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span very large. And he had a helmet of bronze on his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail, and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of bronze. This is the famous Goliath that David fought and killed with his slingshot. He was around at least 9 to 12 feet tall, according to different estimates from different ways they would weigh and measure things. But he was a giant from the line of the Nephilim. And he has also 2 brothers that were just as large, according to that fought later and were killed later by the Hebrews as they fought on and on against the Philistines. And in Joshua 11:21, it says, "And Joshua came at the time and cut off the Anakim from the hill country, from Hebron to Debir and Anab, and from all the hill country of Judah, and from all the hill country of Israel. Joshua devoted them to destruction with their cities." God had given Israel the job to destroy the rest of these Nephilim throughout the land, and destroy their religious sites, and destroy all the things that were very evil, just like a repeat from before in the days of Noah. In Deuteronomy 2:10, the Ammon formerly lived there, a people great and many, and tall as Anakim. And in Psalms 3:6 it says, "I will not be afraid of the many thousands of people who have set themselves against me all around." And a lot of those, David saw as being giants also. In 1 Chronicles, it says in 20, verses 4 through 8, "And after this arose a war with the Philistines in Gezer and Sebekal. The Hushites struck about in Sephi, who was one of the descendants of the giants of the Philistines, and they were subdued." In 2 Samuel 21:15 through 22, there was a war between the Philistines and Israel, and David went down together and his servants, and they fought against the Philistines, and David grew weary. And Ishbanab, one of the descendants of the giants, whose spear weighed about 300 shekels of bronze, and who was armed with a new sword, thought to kill him, but Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, came to his aid and attacked the Philistine and killed him. There were still giants in the land. And in 2 Samuel 21:20, "And there was again a war with Gath, where there was a man of great stature who had 6 fingers, not 5, 6 fingers on each hand, and 6 toes in each foot, 24 in number, and he also was a descendant from the giants." So, did the giants come back after Noah? Yes. Are they still here? Who knows? But it does say, as Jesus said, "So as in the days of Noah, it will be in the end times." And we are in the end times. So hang on. Look forward to Jesus coming back. But is he coming for you? I hope so. God bless.